welcome back to my channel. My name's Tina, and today we're going to try out some YouTube hacks, tips, tricks. This one's by Goss. His hack that you put down a powder, and this is my Too Faced Primed and Poreless. It looks like this. This is not glued in here with a dang, it's my brand new one, so it falls out like that easy. So his thing is that you put down a powder first, and then your foundation, and then you powder afterwards as well, and that this really sets down your foundation and really pulls it in. I am going with the Primed and Poreless, which is supposed to be a primer. We're gonna give it a shot and see how it works out. I will do some wear tests throughout the day and let you know how it's going. Let's find out if this particular one works or not. By the way, just total disclaimer here, Goss is one of my favorite YouTubers for makeup tips and tricks. His usually work for me. There's been a couple that not so much, but most of them I absolutely love his recommendations and ideas for how to get your makeup looking flawless and to stay put perfectly. So let's try this one out. So I'm just gonna take a really dense brush and just put this down all over the top of, I already have primer on. Now I am gonna avoid my under eye area. This powder specifically makes that look awful. This hopefully will set the foundation and make it look perfect. I'm gonna use the Tarte Shape Tape foundation mixed with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. All these Fairlight neutrals are not Fairlight neutrals. Finding a true neutral. I gather I'm not the only one with this issue. It's annoying, right? All right, the Tarte does apply best with a brush. Oh, that's a weird feeling. So when you put your foundation on, you can actually feel the powder underneath it as I'm touching it. Now he used his fingers to do this. I'm going to use a brush and hope that it doesn't make a huge difference that I'm not using my fingers. First impressions of this. This did go down really well. I didn't have any problems with it going streaky. I don't have any brush marks. I don't have any like catches dry spot. I don't have anything like that going on. It seems to look pretty good. Hopefully it stays that way. Now, I'm just going to do my other makeup and I will be right back. Okay guys, so I'm back to finish up my foundation. I'm gonna go back in with the same powder and set this down the rest of the way. Maybe I should have filmed the entire thing when I was putting on my makeup, because I did notice something when I was putting down my blush. For some reason, it seemed to want to grab it more than normal. I don't know, I was outside running around chasing my dogs who are being really annoying today and are locked up, so that's why they're barking. Maybe just because I got hot, but that was before I started this. I don't know why, but it does seem to grab at it. So this is what it looks like with the powder on top of it. It does seem to look really nice and be staying put. I will let you know in a couple hours how it's holding up. Okay, so I'm doing a quick check-in on my foundation and how it's holding up. Using the foundation powder technique. So let's see how it's doing. So here's the thing, this might not have been the best day to do this. I've been working outside replanting plants and sweating. There are a couple places where my foundation really just looks like hell, especially down my nose. Other places it looks pretty good. You ever need to touch up your face a little bit because it doesn't look quite right? We're gonna do that now. I'm just gonna take some of my Too Faced powder that I use and go back over the top of it. And yeah, that really is helping this out a lot. I've also had to reapply my lipstick multiple times. It's been that kind of day. So I'm kind of impressed at the moment that it touches up as well as it does. You know, and that could be a bunch to do with the type of foundation I'm using and stuff. I don't know if this technique helped with that or not. I just know that right now I'm having issues with it. I literally walked in and out of a steamer. We were at a nursery grand opening and I didn't even think of the fact that I was doing this today. This makeup look has been through the ringer. I like makeup, but I live a real life. So that's like my 30-second touch up I just did. I'm gonna add some more highlight and call it good for right now. and then go back to doing what I was doing. I don't plan on doing anything more outside or going back to the nursery or anything today. So this has been on about 5.5 hours. I'm gonna take my Makeup Revolution highlight and I'm totally doing like a quick, oh, holy shit. Have you ever like thought, hey, I'll just do this because it says you can, and done it and then went, oh my gosh, I wasn't expecting that? Okay, so this is a very slightly, mostly dry, very slightly damp beauty blender. Watch what happens with this highlight. This stuff is super freaking bright. I've never applied highlight with a beauty blender before. I obviously need to do that again in another video. Hopefully you guys can see this side specifically with the highlight because it just like went wet looking highlight. Fluffy, you know how they are still swollen but they don't feel damp anymore? That is all there is to this sponge right now. And this was just a brush I was sort of buffing it in with. And it isn't even buffing in anymore. It's just like super shiny highlight. Anyway, so this is where my look is at currently. This side, I'm not loving my highlight right now, but I'm just gonna leave it. I'm not going anywhere. I wasn't paying attention when I did it, and so I got some of the darker color with it. I was thinking it was gonna go on kind of pinky, and it did, but it went in like a dark browny pinky. It just isn't what I personally prefer my highlight to look like. I have definite preferences on what I'd like my highlight to look like. I'm sure we all do. And this just is a little too dark and bronzy looking for me. So that's my update right now. I think with the touch-up, it's back to looking really good. I will zoom you in and you can look. The way it did wear, it didn't have any like creasing or anything like that. Ignore the fact that I now have two totally different colored highlights on. That's gonna annoy the shit out of me. So I have it more even than it was. Makeup problems, right? Where you're just like, I have a plan, and you aren't paying close attention and you do something completely nuts. And then you end up with something you weren't looking for. Yeah, that's what I just did. I think overall, it's holding up pretty well, especially considering the day I just put it through. And so I think doing a touch-up, which I would do with the foundations, kind of no matter what, and the fact that you can touch it up, even with that powder down first, is a really good sign. So if you get oily or something and you're like, okay, I need to tone down the oil, I think this would really do that. I don't think this would last. Like, even with this technique, you're gonna be able to go to the gym and do a full-on hot yoga workout. I'll check back in with you later and you'll see what it looks like around 10 o'clock tonight. Okay, I'm back and it is midnight because I got distracted editing and stuff, so now it's super late. Let's do our check-in before I take all this off. My mascara is not holding up this evening. Neither is my lipstick at this point, but it's been hours since I applied earlier. Actually, for 6 hours. I guess it doesn't look too bad. So my foundation, it doesn't look cakey or anything like that. It does appear that even when I went back in with powder, it's worn down quite a lot. But it's been 13 hours at this point since I first applied. So I'm gonna zoom you in and let you see all this. Yeah, that's where we're at. There isn't hardly any foundation around my nose, and there's not a lot around my mouth or chin. Again, it's been 12 hours and a girl's gotta eat and drink. But on my cheeks and stuff, you know, it isn't cakey or patchy looking or anything like that I kind of expected to have happen. I wasn't sure exactly what I expected because it kind of goes against everything you hear. You know, everybody's like, always use your liquids, creams, and powders. And obviously this was completely out of that order. I don't think my makeup looks awful for midnight. It's certainly not beautiful and fresh. I'll put up a picture right now of what I looked like this morning when I did my makeup, and you can decide how you thought it wore. I think it actually wore very wearably, if you know what I mean. It has worn quite a lot in some places, but considering the fact that I had a full day today, included a lot of sweating and steam, like full face of steam. We're talking put your head in a shower. It was that much steam. It was a lot of steam, and the sweat associated with that. I think those things didn't help with the wear time today. Considering everything, it's not too bad. This highlight here, I gotta tell you, we're totally going to do a video using a damp sponge and highlight because that shit just ain't coming off. Holy crap. It's still on there, super bright. I put it on hours ago. I would have thought, and instead of like going away, it actually has gotten worse, shinier looking to me and darker. I'm not happy about that. I think for wear time, it did a pretty good job. Like I said, considering the day I put it through, I think the application isn't as difficult as you would expect. I don't know that I think it's groundbreaking, but it does give you a nice finish, or at least the way I did it, it gave me a really nice finish. I think if you do use a powder first, you really can't use a damp beauty blender on your foundation. I have a feeling that would create a huge mess. So I used a brush to do this today. I really think that if you're gonna try this, use a brush. But if you've tried this, I want to hear about it. I want to hear your results and how it worked for you, and if you liked it or hated it, if you've seen other people try it and they hated it. I like to hear from you guys. I like to know and what you think about this video, because there's a couple more of these I'm planning on doing. They're not going to be on like a regular basis necessarily. They're just going to be kind of random. But I've seen several beauty tricks and tips are from people I respect that seem really out there to me. Several of these will of Wayne Goss. Absolutely adore him. His link will be below along with everything else. I just love how he explains makeup. His videos are very quick and to the point. So if you like that kind of thing, check out his channel if you haven't already. So let me know how you think this held up today. I hope to hear from you. Please like, subscribe, ring the bell. Thank you. Have a good night. Bye.